Yeah, I got doing a little video here on my manual hone. Um, Taking a camera off the tripod here and show you. I built this machine. I built it probably almost 15 years ago. Built everything on it. It's got a DC head up here, DC motor. It's got a reducer in there, and it goes through a 90, and it's stepped down, so it makes quite a bit of torque. You'll run on an AN conventional head. Made the tilt table and everything, and pretty much copied an axe machine, although I made the table so I can move it in and out, which is nice if you're doing a single engine, like say Harley heads or something, and you want to mount it on the table and you can move it around and get it where you want it. Got Acme thread, which I think in hindsight I should have probably did something a little different there. Got linear shafting up here, so this rides on this linear shafting. There's a track underneath there that the wheels ride on, this carriage here. And then I've got a lock here, which don't ever really need to lock it down. It don't really go anywhere with the weight of the engine on it. But yeah, and a semi-oil filter, I guess it would be an oil filter. Got that from the semi place, and run all my honing oil through that. And I've got a filter mat in it, running a little giant pumping the oil up. And then I have a valve way down there where I can control the amount of oil. I run it wide open. So that is the machine. It's a variable speed head, and it's one of these deals where I didn't have the money at the time to buy one of these machines, and I just thought what they were trying to get for them was crazy, and I decided just to build one. Made pretty much everything in the shop. I had a sheet metal shop in town bend up some of the heavier material for me and insure it, and I welded it all up and put it together. But this just goes to show you, if you really want to do something, you will find a way to do it. At the time, I didn't have the money to buy one of these, so I just built one. And it works pretty good. I've got diamond stones I can run in it if I want to. It does make enough power to run the diamonds, no problem. I've got a different style head for it, but honestly, I've had the other head for it for like 5 years. I just haven't got to it because it works good enough where I just don't even want to fool with it. It's a little bit of a deal with this because it doesn't have a hand wheel on it. I have another setup with a hand wheel on it, but it takes a whole entirely different head. But that's, for another time, I guess, if I ever get around to it. But I'll start it up and I'll run it up and down a couple times. It's kind of a crude machine, but it works. It's got a counterweight on the back. I used to have a spring type assist here, and that doesn't work. And then this is my fine adjustment so the head won't hit the bottom of the webbing of the block. So I'll fire it up and give it a couple strokes, and I don't know what people are interested in on the internet. I guess if somebody sees it, maybe they'll get a kick out of it, and maybe they'll decide to make one themselves if you don't have the money. Because when I was starting out, I didn't have any money really to buy equipment. I hurt myself in my previous occupation. I could no longer do that, so I had to find a way to make an income for myself and try to make enough money to survive. I guess that's what everybody's trying to do. So that's what I did. I started out with a few machines and started doing this and buying machines as I went. I know there's a little bit of choke down at the bottom, so I'm going to run the machine. I'm going to concentrate down at the bottom, and then I'll probably overstroke a little bit at the top. And these holes are way horribly off. So my dial bore gauge that I have a dart block in my other honing cabinet, and I have my other gauge set up for that. So I normally use a 1/2 thousandths gauge, and if I can keep it between a 1/2 thousandths, which would be 2.5 tenths, that's usually what I shoot for. If I can get to 0, that's what I will do. This gauge here reads in tenths of a thousandths of an inch. And I don't normally use this gauge. It's brand new. I try to keep it clean, and I only use it for rod and main bearings. But seeing how I don't have another one of these, and I don't want to disturb the setup on the other gauge, I'm going to use this one. So we're 2 tenths under a 2 thousandths, and we're at 1.5 right there. So I'll have to concentrate down further on the bottom. We're 1.5 down there. So it's got a little bit of bell to the top, which I've got some short stones, and that might have to happen. I'll run it a little bit longer. I don't like to use the short stones unless I have to. And if I have to, I will. But I usually try to dwell these down at the bottom a little longer. And that usually works on this machine. This machine's a little different than my other machine, and they're both strokers, manual stroke machines. You'd think they're both be about the same, but this one acts a little different than the other one. And after you've done this for a while, you kind of get a hang of just how long and how much pressure. It's not something that you can read in a book. It's all by feel. And you know, of course, when it cools off, it might change a little bit. We don't put the kind of pressure and the heat in this engine as like a CK10 or a Big Summon would. Okay, so now we're at almost 2 inches. We're 1/10 away from 2 inch. We're at 2 inch there. We got choke up at the top, but I can overstroke that and I can knock that out. We're at 2 here, 2 and 2 tenths right there, and then up here we're at 1. So that's kind of where the ring wear is. It's got a little bell mouth there. It's at 2.5. So I'll knock that thing straight. We'll go to probably 3 on all these bores. So this piston, the wall clearance on this engine will be probably about 3. So that's the video. You know, I'm just trying to do this stuff on YouTube because maybe somebody will get a kick out of it, or maybe somebody will be inspired to do something. I'm not making it for, I've said this before, I'm not making it for any professionals. I could, you know, if you want to watch it, that's fine. I'm sure there's something you can find to pick it apart. I've learned all this stuff myself. I've been involved in cars and building engines and painting and body work for well over 30 years, and I'm just putting it out there. Maybe somebody will get a kick out of it. Like I said, I was self-taught on all this stuff, and a lot of the equipment I make myself, or if I can buy it cheap, I'll buy it, and if it needs to be fixed, I'll fix it. I didn't have the luxury of going out and buying all brand new stuff, or even going out and buying a bunch of used stuff. So, you know, for somebody out there to think they can't do it, you can do it if you want to. And it's always easy to find fault with somebody else and point their finger and say, well, you know, you don't have this and you don't have that, so that way you can't do this. Well, I'm here to tell you, I got 1,000 horsepower engines out there, and they run like a son of a bitch, and everything is done through this shop. And I've had stuff done by guys that have the best equipment money can buy, and they can screw up a wet dream. I fix their stuff all the time. So, you know, if you don't have the knowledge, I guess you have to buy the machine. But if you have enough knowledge and you know how to make the older equipment work, You know, it's not going to be the fastest. You know, of course, there's $100,000 hones out there that'll make this thing look sick, but I'm here to tell you, at the end of the day, my stuff is not. I can hold 2.5 tenths easy on either machine on any day. And that's not bragging. I guess maybe there is a little bit of brag there, but that's kind of the deal on this machine. And I just thought I'd show it to somebody. And you know, if you really want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to do it. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say. Thanks for watching my videos, and hope you enjoyed the ones that I've put on so far. I try to keep them short. I don't know nothing about video, and I have no desire to do a bunch of editing, so if you pick something up and you learn something from me, that'll be great, because you know, that's all I'm doing this for, really.